decision making, and you really get a sense of like who people are and tell a real human with compassion. You can't look me in the eye. People can't look you in the eye and give you a straight answer anymore. Why can't you just look me in the eye? I don't really get it. All right, enough of that. That's what I do every day. Well, this scares me more than like running into a UFO or Bigfoot. Honestly, this has been the last 3 days one of the weirdest and scariest things I've witnessed. I think everybody should be concerned about this. Definitely, it's not about the people that I ran into specifically. I don't think it was meant from them specifically, these horrible things that I witnessed. I think it was just part of what all society's going through right now. It hit me hard, though. The last time I was in one of those kind of facilities was in Colombia, and it was totally different. I'm talking about a hospital. But we're not going to talk about hospitals and all that and doctors and nurses. We're going to just talk about people in general. And in there, it was just, I think everything funnels to that kind of a place, like decision making, and you really get a sense of like who people are in a way. Not so much as because they are programmed to do certain kind of work and they have to go by the rules and all that kind of stuff, and regulations and all the stuff. But you can tell a real human with compassion through, they sort of get through that barrier a little bit, and you can tell by their eyes. You just look at somebody in their eyes, and that's not going to be 100%, but most of the time it is, if they can get through that barrier of bullshit, or I'll call it BS, okay? And so you've got this facade that's going on all around you, and you ask questions, and you can't get an answer from anyone. Now, of course, they're not going to give answers because everything's, there's all these legalities going on and stuff flying around. You can't get answers at places like, any sort of formal government building, or even sometimes you just go to a store and you look at somebody and ask a question, it's like, and they just stare at you. Or not. They walk the other way. So I just, total communication breakdown. Last time I was in a hospital, Colombia, very compassionate care. It was a very good hospital. But what I've seen over time is just deteriorated in the way people treat each other and the way they treated us. Again, we're not going to go into the personal thing. It's an overall perspective on how scary the programming is. Programming. And, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Well, you probably think I am by a lot of my videos, but everything I talk about is pretty much out in the light, right? Shining light on all the dark. That's what we're doing here at Tectonic. I think one of the main lessons here for me in this whole experience was I have to stay healthy. This bicycle, I get comments all the time. Well, you'll only last so long on there, then this joint will give out. Yeah, well, that's true. But my interior does so much better, which helps my exterior. Maybe not this, but my body feels great. And my mindset. It all happens here on the bike or doing the things I like to do outdoors. So I try to do these things, and it helps me internally, and it helps my health and eating better. And, if I break a leg, I'm going in, or if something happens, I get something, I'm going in, right? I'm not going to let it die in the woods. But I try to avoid having to go, and I try to avoid taking the stuff that they recommend. I try to take care of my body and my interior and all my meditation and my breathing. Now, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm looking, and I'm seeing ever since that thing happened, I see 90% less compassion. It's not the people, but at the same time, there's something different. There's some sort of a film over the eyes, and I see that in society alone. Thanks everybody for coming.